Oh, I don't even have proper pencils.
Hey guys, it's Nathan Birch here from beinvested.com.au, and I am not here with Tim Bailey standing on the box of yellow pages. I'm here with Linda Liu. Linda, you may know her from being at the greeting you at the front of Be Invested, or if you've called through to our office, she's the first point of contact. Linda, how long ago did we meet now?
Just under 2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay. And was it love at first sight, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yep.
I met Linda and her husband Loy at a seminar when I used to do seminars and had time to do them. And it was actually just across the road at the Crown Plaza, across the road from our headquarters here. And when I met Linda, it was only, I had a whole pile of people around me asking me questions, and I remember quite distinctly that a mutual friend of ours, which is my bank manager, which is also your personal friend, come along and said to me, Nathan, can you please have a chat with Linda and Loy just about their property portfolio, and that you're going to purchase a property. And what was the reason behind that? What was the journey behind that?
It was actually something that was off the plan.
Yep.
We went to our banker, our friend, and just said to him, what's our borrowing capacity for this? And he said to me, look, before you make a decision or sign anything, can you just go to the seminar that's on next week and just talk to these boys that have been growing their portfolio, and just see what your thoughts were. And
I remember quite distinctly, I said to you, what are your goals? I said, I've got a minute to spend with you, and whatever you do, if I never see you again, we never talk again, don't buy that property because it's shit and it will stuff you up. Was it fair to say? That was the first thing I said when I met you, yeah?
Yep.
And from that point, the property, I asked you what were your goals, and you said, I'll just say now, look, I wanted to buy something for 10 years. I've had analyst paralysis basically, and this property, it's just new and I can get depreciation. It's an NRAS scheme, so I can save the tax deductions and all that sort of stuff. And I asked you what your goals were, and you said, I just want to buy the property to help me build a better future for my family and more income into the household budget. And I said to you, well, I buy properties for 3 different reasons: below market value, upside for capital growth, and a good strong cash flow. And this property ticks none of those boxes. You're paying a premium for the property. It's a piece of crap because you're paying too much. Upside for capital growth, you're going to be waiting a couple of decades because it's so expensive with all the spruikers with their nice glossy brochures and shit. It's negative geared at the best of times, but then you're taking a lower rent so you can get some other tax deduction. No one gives a shit about tax deductions. If you want to, sit on the beach at the Bahamas, you need to have cash flow coming in. And what was the process after that? Like, what happened after that?
Well, during the seminar, exactly what you said, the 3 strategies, is that the thing that clicked with me, I've got a banking background, so I know property grows in, like, say, 10 years. But one of the things Daniel said was the fact that you guys buy neutral to positively gear properly. And that's where pretty much the light bulb lit up in my head. And then I said to my husband, we need to go to this map session. We need to talk to these boys and find out how it's going to affect us, so it's personal for us, because in the seminar it was quite general. I want to know what we can do and how we can do this. Yeah. So within a week we met with Daniel late at night for our map session.
Yeah.
And had a chat with Nathan while he's in his journey down to Tamworth over the phone as well.
And let's just be very clear on the YouTube video here. We did not work at 2 o'clock in the morning, but it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was just a mutual conversation. Daniel was in the bank at 2 o'clock in the morning. Linda happened to go to the bank at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's a true story. And I was happening to be driving to Tamworth at 2 o'clock in the morning and had quite an eventful evening. And it was just funny, we were on the phone, and your first property ended up in Tamworth about a week after that.
Yeah.
And from that, what was the journey after that? Like, you bought your first one. We bought that at there.
Yeah. Well, I guess one of the things we learned too that night was that we had we drew our equity before I went to have my second baby, and that money just sat there for the last 3 years. Daniel said to us, that's equity that you could be using to buy your properties. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So when Nathan presented us with Tamworth and he said, look, you can pay cash for that, I'm like, oh, okay, so we've got that money sitting there. So we utilised that money, purchased our first one.
I quite distinctly remember the numbers. It was $116,000.
Yes.
This was 2 years ago. This wasn't scripted or anything like this. 116,000. Owner paid 185,000 for the property like 5 years beforehand. You spent 20,000 on a reno, and it rents for 260 or 270.
270.
270 a week. Have you had any vacancies with the tenant?
No, I've got a very good tenant in there.
You had it for 2 years. It was like a shit calculator. My head's not working too well today. It's over at 10%. It's 11.5% yield that Linda's getting on a property. It's after considering the renovation cost involved. You've made equity, and the fact that you bought the property cash. I remember you bought that one cash. It was the first one that you you went back, got a bank valuation on the property, and got back your full capital, including the renovation cost, and you had all your equity back with a positive cash flow property.
That's right. That's right. So that was pretty cool.
So you bought your first one. Then what happened after that?
Then we were presented with another property up in Cairns.
Yep. And what was the property that you purchased?
It was a 2-bedroom unit up at
It was up in Cairns?
Yeah, up in Cairns. I guess one of our first concern with that one was that, oh my God, how are we going to go check it out? It's all the way up in Cairns. It's going to cost us so much money. We were still very green at that time. But Nathan sort of educated us that, look, at the end of the day, it's about the numbers. Here's the cash flow sheet. As long as the numbers are working, you go and do your building and pets report. If they all come back good, then that's fine. So we took a deep breath, held our breath, and went ahead with it. I guess...
and you bought 2 there?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 there.
Yeah, we ended up with 2.
And so 2 properties. We met like a month beforehand. We'd spoken to you a week afterwards when I was on my eventful trip. You bought your first property, bought your second and third property. They were 190 and 200 from memory. You bought a 2 and a 3-bedder, yeah?
Yep.
Those things valued up at, correct me if I'm wrong, 250 and 275.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the rents on them?
290 and 310.
290 and 310, so they're neutral positive cash flow, brand new properties with depreciation, yeah, and below market value. What did you purchase after that?
Then we bought 3 more up in Cairns. Same thing, sight unseen. But I guess the reason we went ahead with that is that by the time Ishmael settled, was that we sat back and we thought, wow, this is what we're paying the agency fee for. Like, everything was so smooth, it just got presented, we say yes, and the team takes care of everything. And then it just settles, and it's like, oh wow, we've got one. So when Nathan rang us and said, look, I've got 3 more if you want it, we're like, okay. And I don't mean to say, like, sound so blasé, because we are 2 years down the track. It is still scary. We were petrified, but we thought, you know what? We're doing the right thing because the numbers are working. It's showing us, you know, we've got the depreciation, it's neutral, we're not out of pocket, or if we are, we're only out by a little bit, and this is what we wanted to do, and we need to do this while we're young enough to still be working and paying for this for our future. So then we went ahead and bought those.
And the reason why I know everything about your numbers is because I've got a photographic memory. I didn't script this, didn't rehearse it. Confirm if I'm correct or incorrect, but you purchased 3 properties that were also on the Cairns LGA. For $183,333.33 each. Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I don't have a photographic memory, but that's close.
The properties were new as well, like
Yes.
they were only like a couple of years old, about 4 years old or
That's
something,
right.
but they hadn't been lived in. The reason why, I remember the reason why I liked that property is that actually I knew other investors that had purchased in the same block for 300 and 320,000. I told them not to, and it was too late for them. They did it before they met me, and they bought in the block brand new for 150 grand more than what you paid for them. And I got these as an administration stock deal, and you know, that got you 2 properties. You had your 1, you had 2, which you got to 3. You got another 3, got you to 6. You got your 6 properties in basically 6 or 8 weeks, I think at that point it was.
Yeah.
Just remembering all these properties are neutral cash flow, costing Linda nothing to hold out of pocket. Linda, her husband, 2 children, normal, you know, traditional family that you'd expect to have, mortgage, all that sort of stuff with a family home. This is nothing, you know, there's no great inheritances or anything like that that's, you know, set these guys apart from anyone else that does it, or me from my bogan beginnings from Western Sydney, New South Wales. So moving forward, this is in a course of 8 weeks or so. What was the next purchase that you did?
We purchased 4 townhouses at Central Coast.
So 4 townhouses on the Central Coast. These things here were purchased for 200,000 square each. Rough numbers, I think there was one at 190, yeah, because it was 2 better. These 3-bedroom townhouses on the Central Coast, they're about 10, 15 years old, though I think they're late 90s built, yep. They had a cash flow of 360 a week, remember?
Yep. 350.
350. Yep. 350 a week rent. See, sometimes my photographic memory doesn't serve me exactly 110%, but it's pretty good. So you purchased 6 properties and you added another 4. This was in a period of 6 months. Linda had not done anything for 10 years. You know, she had equity in her house, but was too shit scared to go and do the next step. And debt wasn't a big thing. You know, it was scary for Linda and her husband to get into. Obviously, having a young family, having the mortgage, having bills to pay and all that sort of stuff, you don't want to risk your family's well-being to make a few bucks in real estate. And looking at the foundation portfolio of 10 properties, well, that's an awesome result for Linda. The townhouses that she's talking about on the Central Coast got revalued only recently in there at 330, I think they were, 330,000 a pop. So, you know, there's a good equity there. How many properties out now?
We're settling on our 20th this month.
20th property in 2 years. That's pretty hectic. So, Linda has got a Be Invested shirt on, much like mine here. Awesome place to work for. Yep. It's quite an interesting story about how we came to work together. And I presented Linda her 11th property. It was a property that was a bank repossession deal, and I said, look, you should buy this thing. You're silly if you don't buy it. And I'll make comments and tell people to not buy a property if I think it's going to hurt them. I'll tell people they're silly if they don't buy a property because they should be buying it. And I said that to Linda, and she was a bit sceptical and hesitant at the time because her employer was not in the best frame of mind. And Linda came in and said, I can't purchase a property because I've just been made redundant from my boss. And I said, I want you in my office, come in my office, don't worry about coming in the office, come in the office. And Linda came into my office one day and she goes, I can't buy the property, Nathan, I can't buy the property. I said, I don't want to talk to you about the property. You're stupid if you buy the property. Don't buy it, you've just, you know, you're getting made redundant. The fact of it is that myself and Daniel, we're fantastic property investors, and that's what I say I specialise myself in. However, from a business perspective, we help other people out for fun. We started Be Invested just for the fun of it, to help other people achieve the same results that we have. People come in for a map session, all that sort of stuff, and I remember how passionate you were when you came in for your map session and the success that Linda had. We had an issue because people say, oh, you guys, Daniel, Nathan, you know, people come in for a map session and you don't go and chase them like sales brokers or anything like that because we don't follow up and all that sort of stuff. And I thought from one extreme to another, we had some voids in our business, and I thought that Linda had a fantastic journey that she hadn't experienced. And I think the most important thing about Being Invested is that everyone that works for our organisation is on the same page and the same journey. And I said to you that day, I want you to come and work for us. And you said, yes, I'll come work for you. And what do you do now?
I work for Be Invested.
There we go.
Yeah, I get the privilege of talking to clients, new and existing clients, and just walking them through the process. A lot of them like to hear what we've gone through, what my husband and I have been the last 2 years. I'm actually quite a private person. Up to starting at Be Invested, we actually don't share much of our journey with anyone. My family knows we buy, they don't know how many. My mum probably have a heart attack if she does.
Mum, if you're on YouTube, it's all right. Your daughter's in safe hands.
Mum doesn't know YouTube.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Too old school, it's all right.
But I've only told 2 girlfriends when we started, and they watched us the last 12 months, and they said, and I said to them, please just watch us because I don't know these boys, I don't know this company, see what we do. And then 12 months later, I forgot to update them on what we're doing, and they said, where are you up to, what have you bought, how many have you bought? And we told them, and we got told, Bib, why didn't you tell us, you know, how come you didn't get us in early? And I said, well, do you want to join up?
What's beep mean?
You know, just beep.
I like a swear word.
Yeah.
Oh, I always say shit and stuff like that, but that's all right. I didn't understand beep.
Carl and Jackie O, they beep it out.
There we go. You don't have a 7-second slide thing on this, so that's you know, use beep.
Anyway, back to me.
Okay.
So then my 2 girlfriends came to the map session with Daniel, and now they're both on board. They've each bought 3 properties each, and I'm excited for them. And I genuinely am excited, whether they're my friends or new clients, when they're on board and they start buying and they get so pumped and excited. Feels like my kids are all growing up. So yeah, it's lovely.
That's cool. That's cool. And that's what Beinvested's all about. It's I felt when I first started investing in property is that people would say, Nathan, you can't do this, you're silly, you're going to go broke, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, I don't know if they'll watch my YouTube video now, but hi, how you going? It didn't set me broke. It was a lovely place that made me lots of money. But, you know, it's something that I wanted to be around people that are doing the same sort of thing that I was doing. And it's hard to find other people out there doing that. And I'm blessed to work with fantastic people who are on the same journey, have the same passion, and are excited about property investing, and, you know, honest, good people. So that's what it's all about. So, on that note, thanks, Linda.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
High five.
High five.
Good work. I think her best days lay ahead of her in the future. There's lots of cool things that her and her husband have ahead of them. The only thing that I do say to my staff, I say on YouTube one thing, I do not want my staff saying the same thing. Property investing is all about being in a position so you can tell your boss where to go, but I hope Linda doesn't do that one day, and I hope no one else does, so I appreciate that, and we'll catch up soon. See ya, bye.